Hello and welcome back. Today we're addressing significant development for all shotgun users in the UK, the impending ban on lead ammunition. On July 10th, 25, the UK government announced its definitive plan to introduce a legislation restricting lead ammunition. This isn't just a proposal anymore, it's moving forward with the legislation expected to be in play by summer 2026, followed by a crucial 3-year transition period running until 2029. This announcement has naturally led to many questions regarding what this means for you, the shotgun user. To help clarify the situation and address some of the most frequently asked questions, we've compiled this essential guide. So let's get straight into it. A common initial query is whether the ban applies universally across different shotgun calibers. The answer is a clear yes. The government's initial statement confirms that the restriction will be applied to all commonly used shotgun calibers. So this includes the 12, the 16, the 20, the 28 bore and the 410. There has been no mention of specific concessions for particular shotgun calibers based on their size or typical use. So regardless of your preferred gauge, you'll need to be aware of these changes that are coming. While the ban is broad, there is indeed some specific exemptions outlined in the government's initial statement. These exemptions primarily cover highly specified, specialised or controlled uses. They include the military and police forces for operational purposes, elite athletes who require specific ammunition for competitive training and events, and outdoor target range shooting. These that have the robust risk management measures in place to mitigate environmental impact. Additionally, museum collections are exempt for preservation purposes, as are other minor niche and little uses. It's critical to understand that these are specific and limited categories not generally allowed for recreational or sporting use. This is a critical point that many users are concerned about. Unfortunately, the answer is no. The planned legislation specifically covers both the sale and use of lead ammunition. This means that once the ban comes into force, you will not be permitted to use any lead cartridges you may have in stock, even if you purchase them legally before the cut-off date. The intent is to completely transition away from lead-free for general use, making it vital part of the plan accordingly. Unlike some previous environmental regulations, this planned ban is a comprehensive blanket approach. It is not associated with specific land types such as over water or in designated environmentally sensitive areas. Once implemented, the restriction on lead ammunition will apply across all environments and land types and where shotguns are used in the UK, unless covered by a very specific exemption we discussed earlier. Another common question revolves around Gameshot for personal consumption. The planned ban on the use of lead ammunition is a comprehensive one. This means that regardless whether the game you go out and shoot is intended for commercial sale or purely for your own consumption, it will need to be harvested using non-lead alternatives once the legislation is active. There is no exemptions based on the end use of the game, reinforcing the universal nature of the ban. Yes, the ban extends to clay shooting activities. Lead ammunition will be prohibited on established clay grounds, at ad hoc clay shooting during simulation game days, and even if you're using your own traps on your own private ground. This signals a need for complete shift to non-lead option within the clay shooting community. Well, there are plans for exemptions, as I said, for elite athletes. The context, the British Association and Conservation, BASC, are actively seeking a more detailed clarification on the specific scope and criteria for these elite athletes' exemptions. So for a vast majority of clay shooters, the transition to non-lead will be mandatory. Once the lead ammunition ban comes into full force in 2009, assuming the current government plan remains unaltered, you will be prohibited from both using and purchasing lead ammunition. As for existing stock, the legislation will cover use, meaning you cannot fire it. However, individuals with collections of lead ammunition that are explicitly not for firing, or who hold a related condition on their firearm or shotgun certificate for such a collection, are exempt from these restrictions. For ammunition intended for use, you will be unable to legally discharge it post-ban, making responsible disposal or alternative solutions necessary. So let's recap some crucial dates. So the announcement was made on July 10th, 2025, with legislations expected to hit 2026. They'll be followed by a 3-year transition period, leading to a full prohibition on sale and use of lead ammunition by 2029. This impacts all shotgun calibers, applies universally across all land types, and affects both game and clay shooting, with only very specific and limited exemptions for certain professional athletes or collections purposes. Well, I hope this brief explainer has provided some clarity on the impending lead ammunition ban here in the UK. This is a significant change, and staying informed is key. We encourage you to consult official government guidelines and reputable organisations like BASC for the most up-to-date and specific guidelines. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it amongst your fellow shotgun users, and subscribe to the channel where I will keep you updated as they come in. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.